When 2 years ago, the township says, yep, you can build a wall there. Then 2 years later, they decide, yeah, nah, you can't. Then you take it to court and you fight it and you lose. And you have to pay Tussey to come take out your $30,000 wall that you built 2 years ago. That would really, really suck. Hey all you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel and to the first job of year 2022. It's the middle of March and it's still pretty wintry up here in Cresson, but I got a unique project here I want to show you. It was one we wanted to dig into early this year. In August, it'll be 2 years ago. Dan and his crew came in here and built a beautiful, probably 10-foot high retaining wall by 60 feet maybe, Deej? Something like that?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Deej, my faithful man, is back here with me. We're gonna be rocking out the jobs this year, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
It's gonna be like 90% water features, 10% hardscape. Right?
That's the dream anyway.
That's the goal. So yeah, if you wanna help Deej and I out, buy water features so that we can stop doing hardscape, which we're really good at, but isn't nearly as fun as water features. Anyways, that wall is probably probably 3 feet off a little road here in the small town of Cresson. And when we built it, we had to put extensions on the sewer and the water that ran along there. And we did that. We were working with the township. They knew the project was going in. The extensions that we put on the water and the sewer were approved of them. And then the way I understand it, like a year or so later, I guess a new supervisor came in and he looked at this and said, no, this has got to come out. It's not legal. It needs to be 40 feet off the center of the road. They took it to court, they fought it, and they lost it. And he had to pay to take the wall out, and we're gonna take it out and relocate it on the property. They made us submit plans and drawings and all of that for it. Everything seems happy, so now we're gonna start building this project. By the way, the new wall is 38 feet off the center of the road. That's 2 feet over the allowed minimum, but the reason we get away with it is because the house is 30 feet off the center of the road. So if they don't let us build a wall there, we're gonna have to remove the house. So they did approve the wall, and that's what we're doing. Last week we came in here and we tore it out. So now we have a bank of clean stone and geogrid there. And we're gonna be grading off that bank, putting down topsoil and straw. Hopefully making everyone happy. We're doing all we can to help him out. This ended up being a super expensive wall because he has to pay for it the whole way through. So this project is time material. Deej and I are gonna be rocking it out as fast as we can, try to save him as much as possible. So we're gonna be building him for the material and whatever. We're gonna build it as quickly as we can and try to keep the costs down for him. So let's get at it. Not really my favorite way to start off 2022, but hopefully we can find some solutions for everyone involved in this situation. Let's get at it, Deej. Okay, so here's the new and improved plan. I'm gonna continue this fence line here. I'm gonna come down to this corner, do a rounded edge on it like this, something like this, and run it straight up there where the string line is. He has a pad up there. And then we'll build the wall in here, backfill this, put the fence around there, make a nice level spot in here. So here we go.
Look where we're at. Skid steer with a dead battery, but thanks to the jumper cables we keep in our truck at all times, we'll be up and running in a few minutes.
We got Deej, our little monkey. I may or may not throw him off. You know, it's important to him to get good time lapse for you folks.
I need about 5 feet that way.
Well, I might need to reposition. Hold on here.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I wouldn't dump you off. There's your time lapse for the day. So when the boss comes out and he doesn't like the round nose and he asks for your paint can, this is what happens. I think he's right. We can't do a triangle because you'd need a seam the whole way up the middle of your block. We had a round nose on here. I didn't really like that. So we're just gonna round it off into here and then put a 90 block in there. I think that's a good idea.
So it brings the point away from the driveway.
Right, yep. And it's something that's structural, it'll work. I don't know. good for some things. Every now and then I come through. So right there is where I want the top of the wall to run in. Got that set. And these blocks are 8 inches, so we're gonna go down 11 courses down would be 88.
88 inches.
And 4 inches of cap, 92 inches down from this point. That's gonna bury an entire course of block below grade down there at the lowest point, which is what we're looking for. It's gonna be like a little bit over 7 feet. So if I go down 94 inches from here, that's gonna bury a full block down there, and then we'll do steps on the way up here. So as the grade comes up, our block will. The whole idea is nowhere in the entire project are we gonna have less than a full block buried. Unless maybe it's up here where it's not gonna be much of a wall. Okay, so I'm at 5 1/4. So 8 foot 1 1/4 is bottom of block, right?
Yeah, what you said.
That's bottom of block. Now I wanna go down another 7 inches, 6 inches of base and 1 inch of nines. That'll be my excavation. So up another 7 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1/4. I'd just like to point out that it's impossible that I screwed up. You know why?
Why is that?
I talked about everything with DJ as I went, and
yeah, that's pretty much 100% guaranteed.
If you want to be sure to never screw up, just make sure that you share your plans with DJ, and he'll point out anything that you might have made a mistake on. Woo! That's gonna be deep. Boy, it sure is a beautiful March day out here. I could work in this all day, and I will. Finally got some things going here, broken to the side, and I'm gonna talk about some things that we are doing to ensure that the wall that we're building is going to stay there forever. Oh, that's cool.
About every half hour, we got one going through.
Little town of Cresson is a railroad town, and you sure see it. So, first of all, we've already talked about how we're going to make sure that we have at least one 8-inch block below the grade. That will lock that wall, hold that wall in place. If once you start getting your wall a little bit above the grade, and then you'll have stone and setting bed eroding out from underneath, and yeah, your wall is going to fill. So, especially with walls that are retaining this much, you can look on the spec sheets. Every wall block is a little bit different. Some of them will say at least 4 inches buried, and depending on how high your wall is. But with this block, and with a 7-foot wall that's going to be retaining a good bit of dirt, I'm going to just go ahead and bury an entire block, and we'll be good for that. Some super big projects, you'll bury more than that. But so we buried an entire block, and then as we start working, of course, we're going to be cutting deeper and deeper into the grade. So once we see the point where we're starting to bury more than one block, then we'll do an 8-inch step and we'll come up. So that way, throughout the whole wall, DJ has marked here with paint every place we're going to be doing a step. That way we're not wasting block below grade. We're never burying more than an entire block. So next of all, he took his jumping jack and he went along and compacted that subgrade. It's a little bit loose in there, and he cleans it up with the shovel, goes along with the compacting jumping jack, and compacts that subgrade. Step 3, now that he has the subgrade compacted, he's going to take this woven geotextile fabric, and this does 2 things. It provides a separation between the stone that we're going to start packing in now and the subgrade, so that the two don't mix, and it keeps us from having a compromised base. And it also distributes the weight of the wall, just provides more stability for that structure. So we're going to go along here, and the whole place, every place we excavated, we're going to put in this woven geotextile fabric. Now, you can't just go to Lowe's and get that weed fabric. It's like a cloth. You can tear it apart really easy. Landscape fabric, something like that. There are two different things. This is made to be load bearing. It's made to distribute. If you have a weak spot in your base, instead of settling like that, it will actually bear the load, and you can have a void underneath it. So if I have stone packed across the top here, and I actually get a spot where my subgrade would settle, this is supposed to be able to span that gap and not sink. So don't use landscape fabric. It's not the same thing as geotextile fabric.